Yo, welcome back to another episode of On Spot Sports. I'm Jack, and today's episode we're joined by a very special guest, professional hockey player Sean Doyle. Sean most recently played with the Gaylord Snow in the Michigan Independence Hockey League, but he is signed with the newly expanded Kalkaska Battlers for this season. So before Doyle went into the MIHL, he played for Concordia University, Wisconsin, in ACHA Division II for 4 years. Before that, he was in the USPHL Elite with the Florida Eels. He's a Florida boy, so we'll dive right into Florida hockey a little bit here. But Doyle, I'm very excited to get you on. So welcome to the show, Sean Doyle.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. You did your research. I know it's kind of a short read with my stat lines, but it's been fun. A lot of PIMs. That's about it, though.
Hey, that's what you're good for is the penalty minutes, and then being a warm up goal scorer. Like those
I'm
are
a
two
warm-up goal
things.
scorer. That's what I do.
Yeah, but how are things with you? I know you're in Gaylord for a little bit here before you go to Traverse City to be closer to the team. So how's everything with you?
It's been good, man. I've been working on a golf course out here all summer, so free golf, in the afternoons has been fun and just enjoying the weather. It's a little cooler, a little more temperate than back home in Florida, so I've been just really enjoying it. It's a little change of pace, and I've been liking it.
Hey, you really can't complain about free golf. Just hit the links every day, and you're good.
Yeah, well, I got them. You should see the bin of golf balls that I've been finding in the woods. Now, 95% of them are me chasing after my own, but those guys leave them everywhere. And I've just got an ungodly amount of golf balls now.
What's your golf game like?
Oh, I'm left-handed, so drive straight left somehow. I don't hook it. I just shank it way into the woods. My short game's pretty solid though. I like to say my irons are my best part, but I try to stay away from the driver as much as possible.
Hey, me and you both, brother. We're short game. The irons are the way to go. Like my drives hook right. I and then sometimes they go left. Like I have to aim left to make it go straight somehow. But
It's like our golf balls. It's
sometimes I get a hold of it and it just goes right into a house on the left side. So
it's
you
it's
never know what
incredible how the golf ball can avoid the fairway so much. It's insane.
it really is, especially when you want to get it on the green in the fairway and it just goes into the rough. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, every time I could be 4 inches from the hole and I'll still three putt it. So
Yeah, exactly. But you grew up in Naples, Florida, over there in Florida. So like, what was growing up for you like in Florida?
it was honestly it's a great spot. It's down southwest Florida. There's a lot of money, a lot of retirees around down in that area. But dude, it was awesome. Like there was roller rinks at every park. So where you guys might have grown up skating on ponds in the winter, our version of that was just roller hockey all summer long. And on the ice, the ice stays in down there year round too. So we're just always on the ice and going to ECHL games, going to see the Everblades and just having a great time. The hockey community is real tight knit down there because not as many of us as like say baseball kids. So you sort of know everybody in your surrounding areas playing hockey and you play the same kids over. And it's you're starting to see a lot of those guys go pro now. So like that 96, 95 birth year all the way through like 97s, you're going to start seeing a lot more guys that are going far with hockey too, which is good to see.
Yeah, there we go. It's good to see Florida hockey like expanding and like there's a lot of good powerhouse guys down there in Florida and just like talk about like the growth from when you were a kid to like what you've seen it now when guys are going pro now.
Um, so so I'm a 97 birth year and growing up, like you'll see 97 guys, right? Those are you're going to be your first, like, you got Zach Solo who's ripping it up in the coast. You won a Kelly Cup
Yeah.
with the Everblades, which was sick. So I'll grow up with him. Another kid I grew up with in the coast is Luke McInnes. He's in Orlando now. So there's guys like that. And obviously there's some Florida guys that are going even higher than that. But from what I'm hearing, the 04s are just elite. Like those kids are nasty. So even better than us. Like it's wild to see that it's just continuing to grow. Our rink had a skating treadmill. Like those kids are unreal hockey players down there now.
Yeah, they've just been growing, getting the most of the resources from when you guys were, and obviously technology and everything has been a lot better since '97. So like they're getting everything they can to become that elite level. So you love to see when those guys are getting more growth and becoming more and more elite.
Yeah, no, it's crazy to see like those AAA level kids coming out of Florida are wild. So yeah, I think we're just going to see it continue to grow and see more guys continue to push out from Florida.
Yeah, we love that. Especially gotta grow the game, and Florida Florida's a great spot to start seeing the game grow.
Well, it helps to see all the NHL and ECHL teams winning all the time down there now. So
Yeah,
there'll be another wave coming soon, I think.
it's a powerhouse down there in Florida with the coast and the NHL, the national.
They're yeah, no, it's definitely a prestigious area now playing hockey down there. There's a lot of hardware and none of it's mine. So
Hey, maybe one day soon.
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, but like you talked about like roller hockey and how that's huge down there. It's like talk a little about roller hockey and like your career with roller hockey because I know it goes pretty deep.
Yeah, no, so it's basically as soon as I started skating on the ice, we were on rollerblades too. And like I said, it's our version of pond hockey down there. All the parks growing up near me, there's neighborhoods that have roller hockey rinks, and I'm down there, and guys are just ripping around with pick up games, doing everything just like you would in pond hockey. It's I think it sort of leads to a style of hockey that you see coming out of Florida now. It's very fast paced, like skilled hands coming out. Like it's a different style of hockey than ice. Obviously, you got a lot more space to do things, and it's non-contact, so you can get away with doing whatever you want. But I think or I guess it feeds into like the style of ice hockey players that are coming out down there as well. And just I enjoy it, man. It's so fun. It's you can play 6 games in a day and just be around the rink all day, and that's my favorite thing. I'm a rink rat, so the longer I'm at the building, the better. And it's fun. I'm not as an art guy, some of the jerseys are kind of horrible, but that's besides the point, I guess. But
Hey, maybe you got to take over the roller hockey designs and design up their own jerseys.
yeah, right. I mean, anything looks good on Patty Maroon in men's A division, right? But
Exactly. Can't get better than Patty Maroon rocking whatever you got going.
yeah, whatever you're doing. But yeah, I played down in that roller tournament that the Clips of Patty were playing in, and he played in like the pro division, obviously, but his name was on a roster for one of the men's A division teams that I was playing in, and apparently they got caught and they didn't let him play because he played in the pro division. But that would have been a nightmare.
Too bad he got caught and like no one was like, who is this Pat Maroon guy?
Yeah,
Never heard of
nobody's
him.
ever heard of that guy, right? Like,
Exactly. But like I love how like you can play like 6 games because imagine playing 6 games in one day on the ice.
oh, it's a night.
Impossible.
It's yeah, that sounds awful. Like I'm 2 in a weekend and I'm hurting. Like,
I used
but
to play like 3, 4 in a day, like for tournaments, and I don't know how I was able to do that before.
yeah, back when we were young and spry, now we're old men. So
Yeah. Sucks growing up, but the experiences are the memories that last forever.
fair. Yeah, no, it's definitely fun. And I do love I go down to the national championships in Tampa because it's not too far from home. So visit family in the summers. It's around the 4th of July every year, and just my one roller hockey tournament a year and just have fun with it. And it's kind of a homecoming now of like
Yeah.
the Florida kids as we come back from all our teams. And so you get to see guys like Schnappy in the Fed. He's playing every roller tournament he can in the summer, and
Oh, yeah.
just get to see all the guys you play juniors with and stuff. It's a cool like homecoming every year.
Yeah, that's awesome. Is there like a way that the games like transfer from like roller to ice, or is it pretty like different compared to that?
No, I'd say so. I'd say that it, the guys that are successful in roller are going to be your guys that like to find space on the ice. Like they're skating. It's fast paced and it's a lot of skill, right? There's
Yeah.
not a lot of physicality. It's non-contact. So guys are finding ways to get through the defenseman. It's a real creative style of hockey. A lot of dangles, a lot of outside shots that you have no idea how they trickle in, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's super fast paced.
Yeah.
So it does translate over. It's just like the physical aspect of ice is taken away, and it's like almost like you'd see it with that threes league now that the NHL guys are doing in the summer.
Yeah.
How skilled and fast paced it is. It's like that for an entire game in roller as well.
Yeah, I love how like those things like transfer and like everything like that, and like how like there's also like those similarities and those differences. But like I remember like during like the pandemic, like since we weren't able to get on the ice, like I was going to the roller rink every day to just play roller, and it's a whole different game. You got more space, more time, more skill. So it's definitely was quite the journey to play some roller for a little bit during that time.
So as a goalie though, that you can't slide, so that must have
No.
torn you up a bit. And those pucks are
I was playing player, so I was
oh,
forward.
okay, there you
I
go. I
was
was about to
scoring the
say
goals.
I know a lot of goalies that don't want to play roller goalie, but and those
Yeah,
pucks are
no,
so light, they're coming at you so fast. It's
yeah.
insane.
I
But
I will not play goalie in roller hockey. No way.
so you're not coming to be my goalie in Tampa next year, huh?
No, I'll go rep goals with you, but
There you go. Yeah. Well, all
I'm
my
not
goals will
stopping
be
the
in the
pucks.
warm-ups, but yeah.
Yeah, you're a warm up guy like we said before, but like you go on to juniors after like your youth hockey days, and you play with the Florida Eels in the USPHL Elite. So like, what was it like that transition period going from youth hockey to junior hockey?
So I actually I took a break from hockey for a bit, and towards the end of high school, I was playing lacrosse and was getting college offers for lacrosse, and ended up going to school on one in Savannah, Georgia, which has a coast team now. I wish they were there. I would have been at the rink all the time. But so I went to school in Savannah for a year, played hockey, just missed it, was miserable. So I came home and I called Frank, who I played for their youth program for a bit, so he knew who I was. And I was like, hey man, like do you care if I just come skate and stay in shape? And he was like, yeah, sure. And I come, and I guess I showed out a little bit because I was the first defenseman offered that year. And it helps out that I was an age out. So they like
Yeah,
in elite, but 1 year juniors, it's not terrible. And by the end of training camp, they put the C on my chest again because everyone with my team was younger and needed to learn. But it's no, it was a blast. I love being with the boys, the long bus rides, with the Eels too. It's like both teams on the same bus to Boston. So it's 25 hours with 50 guys. Like it's just like you
a
would think
shit
it's a
show, but it's
nightmare.
fun.
You would think it was bad, but it was a blast. Like, there was never really a dull moment with the guys there, and that was my first taste of like living with the hockey boys and really just diving into the hockey culture and just being with the guys 24/7. And I loved every moment of it.
Yeah, that's unreal, especially like when you get the captain and get the captaincy, and like you're the one leading the guys, especially the younger guys. So, like, what was it like being a leader and teaching the younger guys what it's about?
Well, there it was awesome, right? And like obviously, I don't know how much you know about Frank, but he's the owner of the Eels. Frank Scarpacci is pretty well known in the USPHL to be a bit of a hard ass and just old school Boston guy yelling. So I got the brunt of that anytime anyone got in trouble. But no, it was good, man. It was fun. It really didn't feel like I was in charge of anybody, which is good. That's how I'd like to see a captaincy. I'm just one of the boys who just happens to be able to talk to the refs, and that's pretty much how it was. I saw a couple of my Eels boys actually when we were down at the Fed camp in Chicago playing for Roosevelt, so I got to see some of the boys while we were there too, which was cool.
Yeah, it's always good making those bring those back those connections with the boys and just enjoying a good time with the fellows.
No, for sure, and it's good to see that they're succeeding in college hockey and stuff as well. So hopefully we'll get
Yeah.
them into the middle or higher after that.
Yeah, absolutely. But then after you were with the Florida Eels for a year, you went on to 4 years of ACHA Division II college hockey with Concordia University, Wisconsin. It's like, what was the commitment process like to go to Concordia?
So we have like this Florida showcase every year in the USPHL. So we were playing in that, and there's always a ton of college coaches around. I was talking to a few Division III teams about playing, and basically, uh, the coach at the time came to me. He was like, "Listen, um, he's like, I think you're a Division III hockey player." He goes, most likely you're going to go to these schools and you're going to sit for an entire year. You're not going to get a ton of time. Come play ACHA here. We can put you on. We have an NCAA team on campus. Like, we play your 1 year and then move up. And that sounded fantastic at the time. I went and visited the school. It's just outside of Milwaukee, and visited in the middle of February, so that was a little culture shock
Yeah.
compared to Florida, but I loved it. I wanted to see something different and get out of my hometown, and I love the city. I liked the campus. It's a small Christian school right on Lake Michigan. It's beautiful, beautiful campus, and hockey seemed to be the big sport. So if you were a hockey recruit, everyone stopped and said hello to you, and it was really cool. So I ended up committing there, and obviously didn't quite get the call up, which I don't think is a bad thing. I enjoyed my time in the ACHA. We played some bigger schools and got to travel to different places that the NCAA team didn't, and ended up for a while having bigger crowds and making national championship runs in the NCAA
Yeah.
team. Their conference is pretty tough, so they struggle a bit in that conference, but it was fun for sure. Like, because it wasn't club hockey like some people have to deal with, right? There were no dues. Everything was, we were treated like an NCAA program. We basically had two varsity hockey teams, which was really cool. The only thing is our shirts had to say ACHA on them. Like,
Yeah.
that was the big difference, and it was fun, man. It was a great time.
Yeah, but like the ACHA, especially now, is like becoming more and more of a bigger and better thing. Like your ACHA is sending guys to the professional levels, the Fed, the SB, the Mill. So like, what's your take on like ACHA and like guys that are looking at the ACHA? Like, do I really want to go here compared to like NCAA Division III or ACHA?
So my advice is definitely, if you're talking to guys that are considering to go to school, right, is like, if you're going to be a Division III level guy, right, or or your options are ACHA, some of the things is like the hockey, like the culture on these schools, like if you're that bubble guy between ACHA Div 1 and like NCAA, do you want to go to a school like a little Midwest Christian school, or do you want to go to Bama? Right? And like
Yeah,
be the hockey players at Bama, because or you look at like the clips on Hockey House podcast, like they've got a great ACHA thing going on there.
yeah.
And like you see the clips of like Kentucky or like UNLV, and it's just sold out barns, right? Like they love hockey there too.
Standing room only, just stuff like
Yeah,
that.
right. Like guys trading their SEC football tickets to go to the hockey games, like just crazy stuff coming out of those bigger schools. And it's one of those things, like, is that the kind of culture that you want to go to when it comes to the fan experience and the rest of your education experience? Now, Concordia was right for me. I would not have thrived in a
Yeah.
big SEC school or anything like that. I probably would have been one and done. But um, no, but yeah, it's definitely an option, especially with the more guys that are going and continuing their career right out. My goalie from Concordia just signed to Columbus, Mac Willie. He's an unreal goalie. And just he's another guy that you should try to get in touch with. He's from Washington, just a beaut. But yeah, it's another option for guys now, and it's an option that keeps growing.
Yeah, that's unreal to like just think about like all the guys that are going places out of ACHA, like the Hockey House doing great things for ACHA hockey, and like it's starting to become like a legitimate contender to for places to for people want to go see ACHA hockey, like the fan experience, like you said. The fans are absolutely wild at those games, and it's just that's like an atmosphere you want to be in.
Yeah, my first college game was at Marquette University, and it was, I mean, they were on you. It was crazy. They brought like busloads of kids in. Their Barstool page like funded buses of kids to
Wow.
come in, but it was like after warm-ups. So like we did warm-ups, no music, silent. I was like, I'm a big music guy during warm-ups. I hate silent
Yeah.
warm-ups, so it's quiet. And then we go to the locker room, when we come back, there was like 1,000 just rowdy drunk frat kids throwing stuff at us and just on top of you. So it was a cool experience for sure, going to these big state schools and playing against teams like that, and just sort of seeing what it's like to be. It'd be like being a Division 1 basketball player with the kind of crowds and stuff going like at these big schools. They, a lot of them treat their hockey teams the same way, so
Yeah.
that's really cool to see.
That's unreal. No warm ups or no music during warm ups, no people in warm ups, and then you just show up to the game and
They're like grabbing
all
you at
these
the end of
drunk
walk,
fans, just everything is just giving it to
throwing
you.
beer cans on the ice, grabbing you as you're walking by from the tunnel. Like it was chaos. We had to
It's the jungle.
My first college game, we had to like take the back door back to the bus because like the Zamboni exit, because like we couldn't go through the lobby to the rink. Like it was insane. It was
That,
definitely just thrown to the wolves.
that's crazy. And just like as his truck goes by, but that's just crazy. And then like what are some of the things you learned throughout playing those 4 years of college hockey to help you develop into going into the MIHL and then hopefully crack a Fed roster somewhat soon?
Definitely the off ice stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
we were in the gym more than we were on the ice most of the time, especially like the last few years. We got a new head coach who owned the gym right at the rink, and the guys were just in on it, and just the work ethic that comes with the off ice training that comes with it, right? Like the more that you're in the weight room, the more you're working on your conditioning, the better hockey player you are too, not just on the ice. Which I
Yeah.
mean, we were doing a
Yeah.
little bit in juniors, but it definitely stepped it up once we hit school.
Yeah, it's definitely different college compared to juniors, and like that's like the base thing I noticed about my game is that it improved dramatically when you do get that off ice uh uh exercise, the off ice workouts in, and like it you sure you're playing the game on the ice, but like everything else off the ice helps transfer to your game on the ice to make you a better hockey player.
Definitely, definitely. And the film sessions too were a little longer, a little more serious, and uh, that also helps with your systems and just understanding the game. Just watching your back, like watching yourself back, is an
Yeah.
important part that I've picked up from going to school.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you spend your first 2 years like adjusting to the college hockey game, and then you get to your final 2 years. Like what was going from year one to year four of your college hockey career like?
So obviously my playing time went down quite a bit my last couple years. That was 100% on me, and my lack of attendance in class really was my big thing. Like I'm not a big school guy. I'd rather be at the rink than in the book. So
Yeah,
um it did cut my playing time down quite a bit my last 2 years, but also just the recruiting that Concordia has been doing in their club team. They're pulling just nasty hockey players. So the competition is always high, and if your GPA isn't where they need it to be, then you don't get to play, and like
yeah,
that's they don't turn the blind eye. So I think uh at least coming into the mill where I get to focus on hockey, which is what my passion is more than the schooling part, is allowed me to flourish as a player now as opposed to then. But I wouldn't trade a day of it. It's given me the accountability and understanding that like everything I do off the ice, including the school stuff, like it feeds into hockey. And if you don't get to play, like you don't get to play. And I do thank my 4 years there, and I wouldn't change it. I'd probably go to class a little more so I get to play a little
yeah,
more. But yeah, no, the grades were an important part that I wasn't doing, and I didn't get to play. And I was lucky enough to play outside of school after anyway. So now I feel like I'm coming into my own as a hockey player more because it's what I want to do. I want to be at the rink, and it's made me hungrier for sure.
yeah. Like that's a big tip for everyone else to go to class so you can play the sport that you love.
Yeah, for sure. Don't end up in a suit on game days because you were sleeping in instead of going to class.
Yeah, exactly. But after your senior year at Concordia, you found yourself going to the mill with the Gaylord Snow last season. So like what was the process like to sign with the team in the mill?
The process with the mill wasn't bad. It was the way they even found out about me is I was invited to this like exhibition game for this upstarting league down in Louisiana and Texas. So I went down to Louisiana and Texas for like 3 days just to check out the quality of hockey. They were playing out west. They've got that league, is it the Black Diamond League? So it was a
Yeah.
team from there, like the Texas Barracudas were hosting this exhibition team for this new league, and it was supposed to be great. Turns out it was a Drake McKenzie league, right? This guy
Mm,
had
yeah. Hmm.
I don't know if your listeners know that story. It's all coming out to me as I move up here, but
Yeah.
he's a famous or infamous name in Michigan for for scamming guys and starting fake leagues. So it was a whole scam. He had me sleeping on like an air mattress in the ticket box of like an old baseball field in the middle of nowhere in Louisiana. Like it was bad. I was Tinder swiping just
That's minor league hockey to a T right there.
Oh, they say the coast is a jungle. How about sleeping on in a baseball field for a league that doesn't exist. But no, I was Tinder swiping just to like find a bed at night. Like it was wild. And then the guy goes, "Hey, we don't have enough players. Like, do you want to play?" I was like, "I didn't bring my gear. You told me to just come watch this game and see if I like it." And so my on his birthday, my dad brings his bag of gear from Florida, flies into Texas,
A
right?
legend.
I play. Oh, my dad is a legend. He is the best. All the boys love him too. He flies his gear on his birthday out. I'm wearing his gear and like a lacrosse shoulder pads at this game, and I play well. I end up getting a contract offer from the Barracudas who I was playing against, and obviously everything blew up, and it turns out that whole league was a scam.
Yeah.
But Miles gave me a call. Miles, the owner of the Snow, gave me a call and told me if me and my buddy, because my friend that I had met down there wanted to start a team, if he wanted to start a team to uh, come play for a year with the Snow, and if he really wanted to start a team after that, then he could do so in the mill and just sort of learn how to run a team properly and not be scam. I came up to play. He came up a little later to learn. It really wasn't for him. He was from Arizona, didn't like the cold weather and went home. But I stuck around because I enjoy the hockey and the fans and stuff that you do see around and just playing hockey. So I'm here
Yeah.
now. This is my career choice. So I'm sticking around for as long as I can.
Yeah, it's like, what was your time like in Gaylord, especially like when you get that fresh start from like that other league to the mill where you're playing for the Gaylord Snow and you play 19 games and have a great season. It's like, what was this past season like for you in Gaylord?
It's been a blast, man. Like, obviously, Gaylord's a bit of a smaller town in Michigan, and everybody knows everybody. And I've
Yeah,
really enjoyed getting to know everyone in town. Everybody seems really cool. Having the boys come up, we stayed in the house right on Lake Otsego, so we're right on the lake, and it was a great time. All the guys coming every weekend and hanging out and uh, just skating and playing hockey and working during the week. It's like obviously we all want to get to a point where we don't have to work during the week and
yeah,
get moved up to the point where hockey pays for everything, but you just keep working until you get there. And it's been a blast because it's all on us, right? Like you get real close living with the guys,
yeah,
especially when I was roommates with Mike DePerio. He's from Mass. Neither of us know anyone in town, so we get real close that way. And just having the guys come visit, and we get like on game days, we get like 6, 7 guys sleeping at the same house, and
yeah.
there's never a dull moment with the boys. It was a great time, and just have the private room. The Snow has their private room, and keeping our gear there, and just going to the rink and skating every day. It's I wouldn't change it. It's been fun so far. So, and it does allow the talent level in the mill is unreal. I know that
Yeah.
it's kind of a lesser known league, but skating with guys like Nick Allen every week is something else. Like in Q, obviously, like just really talented hockey players, and Evan Carroll, like learning different parts of the game and sort of picking up from them is awesome too.
Yeah, and you like the league is such an unreal league, like you said. Like you're learning from guys that are at like the top, like they're the top guys in the league, and like you're just learning from them, and they're getting call ups. Like Q got called up to bingo recently for the season. Like Evan Carroll as well. Like guys like that, like you just learn from, and then you also play in a league in Michigan against all the best guys from Michigan and a couple out of towners, out of staters. So it's unreal just meeting everyone and just seeing like the talent level, especially every single year, just continue to trend upwards.
It's cool too because it's a smaller league. You get to know all the guys, like getting to know you, even though we weren't on the same team, and just sort of like running into guys as we go along through the hockey career, just making all those connections as we move
Yeah.
up to will be is really awesome.
Yeah, because I when did I meet you? It was one of the or it was the when we were at the Prowlers game. I remember, I
Yeah,
believe,
I
right?
think I think that was the first time we really hung out was like in between the two games when we came up to Blue Water for the back to back and just going to the Prowlers game and hanging out with you and Debo. And it was cool, like because I mean hockey players are hockey players. Like we all get
Yeah,
along most of the time, right? So
yeah,
it's cool to like get to know guys that way. And and sort of now, I we played in the TC Cup the weekend before we came down to Chicago. And it's just like a men's league tournament, but a bunch of the Muskegon guys were there, and just, running into them and like recognizing each other and talking to each other there. It's like off the ice, everybody's been really cool and getting along and talking on social media. It's we're all coworkers at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
it's been cool to off the ice get to know guys as well.
Yeah, that was definitely a fun weekend, and like it's a small like the hockey community is so small that everyone knows at least someone, and then like when you meet each other, like you're all buddies, you all end up buddies, and like it like you said, like we're all pretty much the same person when it comes to playing hockey and just enjoying being time with having some time with the boys.
Yeah, exactly. It's been a great summer of just hanging out and skating and, running into guys that you haven't seen in a while, like you guys when we go to camps, and just getting to know all the players, even some of the Muskegon guys, like I'm starting to get to know a little better, which is I never thought I would
Yeah,
say, but obviously you signing with them, you'll get to know them really well too. So
yeah.
that'll be cool.
Yeah, exactly. And like this year, you signed with the newly expanded Kalkaska Battlers, and like take us through like that whole process, because you're also the design guy when it comes to like going through the jerseys and all that, and like the logos and everything. So like take us through like everything really.
Okay, well, yeah. So I it started this season, just ideas being thrown around a little bit. Obviously as a kid, I studied design in school and like in art, and that was kind of my thing, illustration major, that whole deal. Uh I've always loved like designing uniforms and making graphics and for social media, and I was trying to do
Yeah,
some of that with the snow too, just to help, any way you can. There's small teams and there's a lot of workload to the front office. So any way I can, I would do so. And I Andrew Dibble, who was with the Snow last year, got his expansion team, and I was lucky enough to be picked up by them, and he sent over that way at the end of the season. And it's been a whirlwind, but it's been cool to see just the building process done the right way. Like it seems like everything that he's been doing has been just top notch, right? Like the excitement around the team has been growing. He gave me free reign to sort of like, he gave me one logo, and then we went from there. Like he had his logo, and I was like, all right, well, this is so like the battler guy here, right? So
I like it.
we added in the word mark on top, and we built out this brand. We have probably six or so logos and word marks that we can use, and went step by step designing the jerseys, finding some look that's going to be ours. And I think we did a great job. And we've been awesome so far on social media and just sort of growing the hype for this team coming out. And it's to the point now where even in Gaylord, if we're wearing one of these shirts, someone might recognize it and, talk to us about the team. And you see it on Facebook. People are excited for the season to start. And also just the guys that we brought in, Coach Cody. He obviously won a couple of rings in Muskegon, and we've given him the reins, and it's awesome because those two work so well together. Dibbs is not the hockey guy. He's the marketing guy. He's the brains behind the operation when it comes off the ice. And that, he's given Cody free reign to build the hockey team and do that. And obviously they work so well together, but keeping it separated to the point where there's not a ton of stress, which is really cool. Like the guys that we have signed so far are bought in. We're already in the community doing stuff. Last weekend we were at a veterans event, and wearing our jerseys and helping out and meeting fans, and all the guys seem bought in for all of it. So the excitement around the team with the guys and also like with the fans seems to be unreal so far.
Yeah, and like that's awesome, especially because like a lot goes into building a new team, doing like the marketing and everything. Like you guys really did a nice job of the design work, the logo work, like everything, like building your own team, like the marketing. Like I love the marketing that you guys have been doing on like the social media and all that. And like it definitely seems like a lot of people are very excited for the season. So how excited are you to play for the Kalkaska Battlers?
I am stoked, man. Like I said, the guys that we have, we all so far we all get along really well. I think we're all sort of on the same page that this is an exciting time for a new team, and that we want to do it the right way, and that we want to start off the right way. So I feel like I've been little rejuvenated coming into this season. The energy is there. I've been skating a ton, uh, working out a ton, and just getting ready. And I just feel like I'm playing with confidence, and I'm playing really well coming into season. And I think a lot of the guys on the team so far are feeling the same way. I think that this is going to be a fun season. I'm excited to get our first game is against you guys in Muskegon, so that'll be our first test. Is
That'll be
probably
a
the
good
toughest
test for you
one.
guys.
Yeah, for sure, because everybody in the mill knows how hard it is to play in Muskegon. Playing against them there last year, it's a tough spot to play. So the first test right away, but that home opener I think is going to be really exciting. I think the energy in the building is going to be awesome. We have a great spot in our rink, and um, I think it's going to be that's going to be the real moment where a lot of these guys are like, oh, this is like real hockey that we're playing here now.
Yeah,
So that's great.
absolutely, absolutely, and like you're just it's a new expansion team, so it's great for the league, great for the town of Kalkaska, and like you love when teams are expanding the league, expanding like the talent's only going to get better and better every single year with these expanded teams.
Yeah, definitely. And with obviously with our geographically, we're only 40 minutes from Gaylord.
Yeah,
That's gonna, I
it's a
think,
rivalry game right
yeah,
there.
build a little healthy rivalry there, especially because like some of the front office and some of the boys on the team played there last year, and it's just gonna be pretty I think that one's gonna be pretty vicious towards the end of the year, especially with how many times we're playing them. That's exciting too.
Yeah, it'll definitely be exciting. It's like what's been like the biggest thing you've learned over the last 2 years of being in the mill?
All right. So what did I learn as a pro? I think the big thing is the off ice stuff along with the fans, like how to conduct yourself as a professional, like how
Yeah,
to interact with fans off the ice and be involved in the community, skating with kids and getting involved whenever you can. I learned like that's a direct correlation into ticket sales. The more the guys are involved, the more the community's involved with the team, the more money that goes into our pockets, right? So like I think that's the big important lesson that I've learned. Obviously, I've learned that guys like Keegan McGraw, I'm not big enough to fight. So just stick in your lane that way. But yeah, just how to conduct yourself as a professional off the ice too. I was lucky enough on the snow to have guys like Caleb Chillman and Brendan Brooks on the roster that are
Brooksy, beauty.
experienced. Yeah, Brooksy is an absolute beauty. He's the best. But to have those guys and sort of learn, like even with like Brooksy when we're on the road, like going to restaurants and just sort of learning how to be a professional hockey player off the ice too. It's been a really interesting road there, and just sort of learning the ropes and still being able to get on the ice the next day. Because in college, if we were going out, there's no way we're skating in
Yeah,
the morning the next day. But so just to be professional on and off the ice.
yeah. That's like the biggest thing I learned as well is just how to handle yourself as a pro, like doing the off ice work, being going to the community, doing the community events, like you said, like that brings in ticket sales, that brings in more fans, and then just how to like act like you got to really be careful of like what you do on social media and all that, and like what you do on like a day-to-day surface level, and because you never know who's watching, so you don't want to get caught in anything sticky or a sticky situation.
Definitely, especially in towns like Gaylord, right? Like if
Yeah,
say we were playing, there's guys that are playing in Waterford, Detroit, like you can sort of go under the radar a little bit more. But in Gaylord, everybody knows the snow guys, everybody knows everybody, right? So like
yeah,
it travels quick. So you do have to learn how to compose yourself in a way that's respectable to the team at all times while
yeah,
still
because you're
having your fun.
yeah, because you're also representing the organization that you're playing for every single day. So you want to be as good as you can to help the organization stay on a positive note.
Yeah, exactly. And again, like with uh us being professionals now, like our faces are a little more recognizable, and
Yeah,
stuff comes back to us a little more.
yeah, absolutely. But this summer, like you've been doing a lot of training, and you were just at the free agent camp with the Binghamton Black Bears in Chicago with me. It's like, what was that camp like for you, and like what were some of the things you learned from that experience?
Oh man, it was a fun experience. That was my first Fed camp. Some of the guys there obviously had been to a few and knew each other from camps, and I was lucky enough to know some of the guys from the Snow as well as a couple of Florida kids for no reason whatsoever. Just running into. I was surprised at how many guys I did know at the camp, but I thought it was fun. I thought it was a great skate. A lot of skating with the 3-on-3,
Yeah,
right? As a
I just had to
defensive.
be in there for 20 minutes, but you had to be on there all 60.
Yeah, I felt yeah, normally it's vice versa, right? You guys get all the work, but then I spend the time grocery sticking it between the D and the offense. But it was fun. I felt like I was moving well. I felt like uh the team liked me. Obviously, they went a different direction and that's fine. They gave me some positive feedback and stuff to work on this season. So we're taking that into account. We as a team, our coaches were there and sort of are developing a relationship with Bingo as well. So that'll be nice to have like federal coach input as I develop as a player. Um, I enjoyed, it was like being on the road with the boys again. So being in the hotel, a lot of the guys are at the same one and just eating breakfast with the guys and getting to know some more hockey players and
The
expanding.
country in.
Yeah, the country in.
What a place.
Oh my god, the door to the hot tub just didn't lock. So you just swim whenever. But it was a great time. That's a great barn there that they were skating into. It's a cool spot, and it was just it was a fun experience, and getting to know some of the guys that are up in the Fed too was cool, and like the guys that were playing in bingo. So all in all, I take it as a good experience, getting my name and some exposure in front of higher levels, and as well as getting some feedback on what to work on to continue to develop as a player. And it sort of went exactly how I expected it to. So like I wasn't expecting to up and move my life to Binghamton in the next week or so. But just to get my name out there and to get some perspectives other than my coaches that I skate with all the time. So it was
Yeah.
cool that way and definitely some stuff to work on this year.
Yeah, and that's good that you got like positive feedback and everything. Like you could use that to help develop your game this season to get to the next level, and just to have like the coaches just looking at you and just seeing like what you can do to get to the next level. Like it just makes everything a lot better and a lot more efficient to than just having like your everyday coaches that see you every day, but like these outside coaches that are at the next level to help you get to like what you need to work on to play at that level.
Yeah, exactly. Right. All the not saying that like my coach's input isn't valuable, but
Yeah,
to
because
hear it
it
out
is
of
valuable.
100%, but to hear it out of the horse's mouth, like this is what I
Yeah,
need to work on in order to continue to develop and move up in this career path is it's important as well. So been taking it pretty seriously and finding my coaches have taken that information and given me drills to work on
yeah,
for those specific things to help my game grow and be more well rounded.
yeah. So it's just you get the feedback from the coach in bingo, he's a beauty. So
Yeah,
just to get
yeah,
good
Coach
guys
Sherwood's
from
awesome.
yeah, just get feedback from him, and then relay that feedback back to your coaches and help, and then have them help you to get those drills and everything. Like it makes the process that much more smoother.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm lucky enough here in Gaylord. There's not a ton of like taken ice. So like I've got like 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. ice time. Like
There we
there's
go.
spots it's like $6 to skate up here. The ice time is so cheap that like I can go and skate and get off and get breakfast and stretch and get back on the ice and do more drills. Like it's been awesome that way. A lot of accessibility to ice out here too, which is nice compared to Florida where stick and puck might be $25,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's good to get have those resources to get you to that next level.
yeah, definitely. So that was fun. I wanted to ask you how did you perceive that camp in Chicago, right? Like you've been to a few. Like how did you like that camp compared to other ones you've been to? And did you get the feedback that you were looking for as well?
Yeah, so I think it was honestly one of the better camps like the one of the better camps that I've been to. Like it was better. It was like more efficiently ran, and just like it was all like more personal as well. Like Coach Sherwood, like he like actually made like a thing to get to know you. Like he knew right from the door that who you were. Like I walked in, he's like, yeah, like I watch your podcast, like you're Hudak, just stuff like that. So like it makes you feel like welcome and
Always a
like
viewer, hey? Shout out
yeah,
Coach Sherwood
shout out
Bingo, hey?
Jersey.
There you go.
But it was just a good like solid camp that I really enjoyed. And like I got the positive feedback as well, and like stuff to work on. Like that's like the biggest things that even if you don't get picked at these camps, it doesn't mean that you can't compete or play at that level. It might be just different opportunity might show up for someone else. Like they may have just go a different way just because of like point or situation A, situation B. So like it doesn't mean that you can't compete or play at that next level.
Right. And I think that was the message that was brought to me when I had my phone call with Coach Sherwood. It was that like he thinks that I'm capable of playing at the next level.
Yeah.
And he definitely wanted to see me continue to develop, which felt good, right? Like it's an ego boost a little bit, and it also just like that input is very, very valuable to continue to hone your craft.
Yeah, and like that was like the biggest thing that I saw, and like that like when you do get cut from these camps and all that, like I've heard people like, oh, I can't compete at this level, or like they just like quit hockey overall. But it's like you're doesn't like just because you got cut doesn't mean you can't play at the level, and like you just got to take the feedback, and like maybe they want to go see you develop for another year before coming up, and then like because if you develop for another year, you'll probably be more successful the following year than you would be for this season, and vice versa and stuff like that.
I think that sort of goes back to like being a professional as well,
Yeah,
right? Understanding like the ins and outs of the business, and that not necessarily being cut doesn't necessarily mean you're not good enough, or
yeah,
that you'll never be good enough. And also just like understanding like how to take that rejection in a way that is beneficial to you. Obviously, I was hitting on those blondes at the Country Inn the night before or the morning of the last day of the skate and got shot down there. So I was actually already comfortable with rejection at that point. So I made
you've
sure
already
that
experienced it before
yeah,
the
exactly. I
couple
was
hours
preparing
before.
myself. I was preparing myself with for being cut. But it was no, I think it was a great camp and it was fun. And I look forward to going to some more next summer for sure.
Yeah, and it's not like digging about other camps. Like other camps, like I've honestly loved every camp I've gone to, but like just like every year, just camps seem to get better and better, and like how it's ran, like how efficient it is, and stuff like that. It's like at any camp I've gone to, like I've enjoyed my time and enjoyed the experiences, and have nothing but good things to say about those camps.
That's awesome. How about that fight too? How was that in the camp? That was wild. Buddy asked
That was a good time. That was
buddy asked the media guy to record it and then just gets slept.
I remember our coach on the bench was just laughing. Like our entire bench is laughing, honestly.
Oh, that was just perfect. I was behind him. I went up to the media guy too. I was like, I also want to see this video after. Like we saw what was coming.
You should have
That
been
was
like,
great.
can you take some videos of my gameplay over here and see and then send it to me after?
Yeah, yeah. Can you just get every time I
Especially in
turn the puck
warm-ups,
over?
especially the
Yeah.
warm-ups.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, could you get like video of every time I turn the puck over real quick and just send those over for my social media? But that was fantastic that he went out of his way to ask to get the video and then just get to
I
go
love
to
it though.
sleep.
Like yeah, he like I love that. Like it made everything more like you get laughs out of it, you get more memories out of it. So it's funny, it's
Oh, for
hilarious.
sure. And like that kid was a beauty too. Like
Yeah.
he was funny, but man, I was dying on our bench. Our guys were losing it too. The next day, like he was the Fed boys were there and he's just like, hey, you missed it. And they're like, no, I saw the video. Like,
Don't worry, we have it.
yeah, hey, if anyone in Bingo's watching, send that to me. I want to see that one. That was
Yeah,
great.
me too. That was definitely a good time. But they should have got your warm up shots because you're a
Oh,
warm up guy. Like every time I was in net
highlight
for
real
your
warm
warm
up
ups,
guy.
it was goal. Come game time,
Muffin.
save.
Muffin right
Awesome.
to the
Muffin
chest.
right to the chest.
Yep. Hudek's got the quickest chest in the mill. So
that man, we're only going to work on that more during this season. So
Oh
we'll
yeah,
have
exactly.
a lot more highlight reels coming.
Yeah, well, I mean, only for warm-up shots though, obviously. But
Yeah, obviously. But before we wrap things up here, do you have any tips for players looking to get to the next level? I know we talked a lot, but like any other like tips that stick out to you?
I think the big ones, obviously, we're grinding it up from the very bottom, right?
Yeah.
So if guys that are looking, and it goes with the ACHA, if you're a junior guy looking in the college too, like don't overlook opportunities to play, because they might not have like the recognition that other leagues do, right? Like, so the Mill is obviously not a well-known league nationally, but it's a great league to
It's getting
develop.
there too.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's growing every year. It's an opportunity to play. And if your
Yeah.
option is play in the Mill or don't play hockey anymore, like obviously
Play in the
continue.
mill.
Yeah, take your opportunities and use them as learning opportunities, right? Same in the ACHA. Like, don't overlook opportunities that are looking at you, and just continue to play, um enjoy every moment you're at the rink, right? Because this isn't a job that lasts forever.
Yeah.
This is something that you got to enjoy every moment with, on and off the ice. So besides that, just keep skating and try not to look dumb on
Yeah,
camera, you know.
exactly. Those are some great tips, and like
Well, you
even
don't have to
like
worry about that in Muskegon because they do radio
yeah.
broadcasts, so they
I'm
don't.
gonna be looking up the radio broadcast every day, every game, and just
They
because it's
thank
gonna
God
boost
you're
my ego a little
because
bit.
you got a face built for radio, so you got it. You sat there. Me too, though. So
Yeah,
I can't say much.
we'll both be on it.
Yeah, we're both pretty rough looking, and once the cameras are on,
We're just beauties.
yeah, we
Yeah,
make up
but
for it.
yeah, but even like during like this past season for me, like I'm facing 60, 70 shots a night, and like I still face or see every game as like an opportunity to get better and develop, especially because like I know I'm gonna be facing that much rubber in a night, so it's like I'm getting thrown right in the fire. Like it's a great opportunity to develop my game, develop like my game sense, my hockey IQ in the games and all that, and
Yeah,
like
it's great for numbers too going into camp.
yeah,
Like, obviously you earned your award last year. You got the Boardway Award, right? And I mean,
yeah,
heartbreaking that whole
yeah.
story with Trevor.
Rest in peace, Trevor
Trevor.
Boardway.
I didn't get to know him very well, but he was a beauty. But
Yeah,
you earned that award that's named after him as top goalie in the league for a reason, and seeing those shots, and having a solid defense in front of you this year is only gonna make you better as well.
yeah,
And honestly, like, I just, when it comes to that, like, I can't imagine knowing you're gonna see that many shots every night, but also like hopefully those bottom teams in the league like took this summer seriously, and I'd love to
yeah,
see a more competitive mill top to bottom.
yeah.
Which I think it will. I think
I think it will
every year it's
too.
growing, but being the new team last year, that must have been difficult. And like, what do you got for my battlers guys that are listening here? Like, what do you got coming onto an expansion team last year, and what do you have for them being a new team in a new town? Like, any
Yeah,
tips for those guys?
honestly, just like I loved going to like an expansion team because you really got to like grow the team, and like you got to like we're in Port Huron, so like obviously they had the Prowlers as well there. So like, but like people knew who the Blue Water Stars were as well throughout the town. So like it was good to build like a name and a foundation for the Blue Water Stars. And like every day, I honestly played for the team on my jersey, the team on my chest, the Stars. So like just go into every game as in like an opportunity to get better, an opportunity to develop, an opportunity to represent like the city, the town of Blue Water, Kalkaska, where you are, and just build the foundation and build the organization from the bottom and leave it a better way than you did when they first started.
Yeah, well, definitely, especially with an expansion team, it's not too hard to be a little more recognizable at the end of the year than at the
Yeah,
beginning. But yeah, I think the goal this year is going to be to set a foundation, in the room and around the community that future battlers guys will follow, and set a good example. So I think we got the right guys to do it so far, and we're excited to play you guys game one.
yeah.
So
Yeah, and like community is big because like you want to build the brand, build the organization. Like with like one of our defensemen, one of our enforcers, Austin Dunn, last year. Like I went around when I was in town to like all the bars and the food places that we went to try to get sponsors and just be a face to the organization and just help the organization grow, and then like obviously like be there for the community. Like obviously I'm not from Port Huron, but like I'm playing for Port Huron and I'm playing for the Blue Water Stars.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's something, I guess, another, like you asked before, like advice to younger guys coming up, like look at guys like Trav in the Fed, right? Like
Yeah,
your media presence, both for the team and your own, the way you conduct yourself off the ice, and the more that you're on in the eye of the public, and just involved in the community, the more you're going to
yeah,
be recognized, and it can become a part of the business that allows you opportunities later, right? Like
yeah,
Travis said it on his podcast a few times. Like his following on YouTube and his podcast and everything does help him get looks, and obviously his play between the pipes helps. But you're not going to get the job because you're good with fans, but you
yeah,
might get the job over somebody who's just as good as you because you're
yeah.
good with the fans and good in media. So
Good
that's
character.
another thing. Yeah, for sure. And just, uh, it's a business. So the more people that come, the more people that have
Yeah,
positive views about the team, uh, it all comes back to money at the end of the day. So those be involved in your community, teach the kids to skate, like, do everything you can. If you're invited to it, the answer is yes, and find a way to make it happen so that,
yeah,
because that's the impression that these kids get.
yeah, exactly. And like that's like the biggest thing is just like try to clear your schedule as much as you can, especially when you get those offers to go in the community, because it will make a difference. It will make an impact on not only yourself, but the wherever you're going in the community and your organization.
And you realize you might come up with a passion for cakewalks. Who knows? Like we did
Yeah.
that last week as part of our event over in Kalkaska area. They were doing a cakewalk as a part of it, and our guys got involved. And Vince, one of our young guys, no idea how the game works, wins a thing of cookies. I was jealous. I'm not gonna lie, but just yeah, it's fun, and you get those fun moments where you get to interact
Yeah.
with fans, and that's really the at the end of the day, like that's what you're gonna remember from all this, right? Yeah, you
Yeah.
win a championship, you get a ring, like that's awesome. But like having an effect on kids and maybe inspiring a kid to maybe play hockey one day as well, is the most important part, right? To grow the
Yeah.
community, grow the game.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. Growing the game and growing the community. But
But
I have a few more questions before we wrap things up here. So like you know how I did the Q&A on Instagram.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's see. I was
I have a
interested to
few
see you.
questions.
Oh God. All right, let's hear it.
All right. So the first one is, how did the get on your feet chant get started?
That I can't even claim that one. My junior year, the ACHA team, we went to Mandan, North Dakota for the national tournament, and some of the younger guys, it's actually my little brother and some of the other boys on the Concordia team started the "Get on Your Feet, Mandan" chant, and then it just sort of blossomed from there. So get on your feet, whatever town you're in, and the more obscure the town, the better, for sure.
'Cause
But
I remember your Instagram post. Get on your feet, Gaylord.
yeah, right. Because get on your feet, Gaylord, exactly, right. And then you go out there and it's dressed like a bleacher night. So
Great time. That's just unreal.
yeah, that's a fun one for sure. But yeah, I can't claim that I was not the creative mind behind that one. I stole that one from the club team and from my little brother.
There we go. And then the next question is Playboy asks, why do you have so much drip on the ice?
Just Googling the drip, right? If you can't play good, at least look good. So
Look
it's
good, feel good, play good. Those are the
yeah, oh,
three
exactly, right?
foundations to playing
I
good.
live by that one. I try to look as drippy as I can on the ice. I had that Warrior helmet this year, which was rough looking, but
Nasty.
I don't know about that. Yeah, it's part of it. Like obviously, you want to look good and feel good when you play. So
Yeah.
I just it comes naturally. All right, we'll just put it that way, I guess.
That's the safe way to put it. The next question is what are your goals for this season?
My goals personally for this season,
Yeah.
as a defenseman, I would like to try to stay in the positive for one, stats wise, realistically. And I was close, but I'd like to be a point per game guy at least this year.
There
I
we
think
go.
that'll show some growth and
Not against us though.
yeah,
No
well,
points for you.
hopefully against you guys. Yeah. Well, bud, you've got the target on your back now. You're the 3-time reigning champions now. So, yeah, no, so I think just continue to grow, maybe more than 2 goals. Like everybody loves that I
There
was
we go.
almost a point per game guy with assists, but I'll get a little ego shirt and get a couple more tucks in this year as well. But yeah, I think just seeing playing solid D, being a positive guy, and then being a leader on the team in Kalkaska too, and sort of setting the tone for the rest of the guys, I think is going to be a big goal for me this year.
Yeah, there we go. It's a good. Those are some good goals to have for the season, and I want to wish you the best of luck with those goals.
Yeah, I appreciate it, bud. Especially against you. I'm coming.
Yeah.
I might have to come
Okay.
warm up with you guys though, so I can get them
Yeah.
in.
Maybe. Remember, you're a warm up guy.
Big warm up guy for
Warm
sure.
ups only. And then the last question is, does he think he's better than his brother?
Do I think? Oh, do we have a name for that? Who asked? Dude,
He was at the bingo camp.
was he? Okay,
He's a goalie.
Patrico. Okay.
Yeah.
I think my brother, as of now, because he's hung up the skates, he's a big golf guy now. Yes, 100%. He's always had I've always been the hockey guy over him, and he's been the lacrosse guy over me a little more. But yeah, I would say as of right now, yes. Hey, if he was still playing, who knows? I was trying to get him to come out and play, but I think he's sort of done with the competitive hockey life. So, well, we'll see. I know I'm better than Patrico. That's a fact. So,
He also asked, does he tip?
do I tip?
Yeah.
Do I tip pucks? I got no hand-eye coordination for it, but I'm the one shooting from the point. I can't tip a puck.
You're the defenseman, not the goal scorer.
Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah, I've got that flamingo tattoo on my calf as a warning to my goalies. That's how I block shots. But it's no, yeah, I'll try it anyway. It's not like I'm against tipping. It's just I don't normally get there in time.
You definitely got to try it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get in front of some shots here. We'll add that to my workout regimen for the rest of the offseason here.
That's the goal, to become the best tipper that you can be by game 1 of that MIHL season.
Yeah, right. It'd be the best tipper in the league. That's hard, man. There's a couple of guys on the Snow that it's like it's glued to their sticks when they come into the tip. Like Bryant Danielson, it's insane. Like the guy can tip everything. It's wild.
Nick Allen too. He got 2 past me this season. Like I don't even know how he tipped it.
It's insane, right? Like it's crazy. It's hilarious too, because in the locker room they're right on Live Barn trying to get that clip. Like it's wild, but
you always got to go to Live Barn for your highlight reels.
Oh, for sure, because everybody loves that bird's eye angle, like with the panoramic camera where the rink's dented into the middle. That's the best quality video to send to coaches. But
no, that's going to get you a spot on the team for sure. With that,
oh, for sure, yeah, exactly. You're going to want Live Barn, especially like sticking pucks or men's league games in the summer. That's where your highlight reel comes from for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But Doyle, thank you again for coming on the show. I really appreciate your time. I want to wish you the best of luck with the Kalkaska Battlers this season.
Hey, thanks, buddy. Good luck this season. I look forward to playing with you. We'll do this again for sure sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll do an in-season interview, live interview. We'll do that
live in person. Yeah, there you go.
That'll be a good person.
That'll be a good one. All right. Cheers, buddy. Thank you.
See you, buddy.